out of nervous excitement.
Okay, everybody, we are live again. Finally, it's been a while, but we're all here. And it's time for some Forgotten Fates. This is going to be the third season, week number 6, hour number 1.
Maybe we should rename Remembered Fates now that we remembered to play.
Oh yeah, remember the Fates. When we last left off, Ardo was dead.
Ardo lives.
Lives again?
Maybe. He lives on in our memory.
Ardo rides again? No, Ardo's not dead. We are currently riding off into the sunset, right, Trey?
Something like that. You had just recovered Ardo and a toddler after Ardo's 2-year or 5-minute hiatus. We're not really sure which. There seems to be some disagreements on that. Y'all were all riding on the civilized cart with the horse and donkey pulling it. And the mechanical striding Dragon Man cart had just trampled a man, or the remains of half of a man, into greasy smear, then burned them down.
Is that a short joke?
Yes, sort of. Yeah.
It came up short.
It did. It
I
did.
resemble that remark.
We know you resembled that remark. Oh my goodness. Love Ardo. He's like a brother too. Well, half brother. We're looking for the top half.
It's the long and short of it.
Anyway. I believe...
Come on, bring it up a level.
Okay, that's enough punishment already. Let's continue on. Kel had mentioned that he might be able to get some more information on your issue in a library in Silvery Mode. Ardo was telling you bits about what he'd learned over the time he was in there, which was lackluster.
Yeah.
And the baby seems to have developed the ability to grow plants, or maybe she already had that. We're not real sure.
But ultimately, the Witch of the Wood had the baby for that 2-year period, or we assume it's 2-year period.
Right.
Do we know the exact amount of time? Did we figure that out, or?
Well, you know she had Ardo for 2 years, and now the baby's a toddler.
So we do know the period of time.
Well, Ardo said he was there for 2 years.
Yeah, the last session, Ardo said he was in there for 2 years.
Okay.
And then called us all idiots for thinking it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I wonder why you waited so long.
Yeah. I don't remember that. Yeah, you were mad that we didn't come get you.
Holy
Even though we all looked exactly the same as when you left.
He's not like there was no mirror, right? That's what he said?
Yeah.
Avon calling.
So he couldn't feel the beard on his face?
I'm sure he felt it grow. That's probably all he could do to entertain
I don't remember
himself.
if we established this. How did Ardo track the time? Was he carving notches in all the way around the house? Or?
Yeah, carving notches into her wall.
Okay.
She loved that, by the way.
It's like 600 and...
That was
Some odd notches.
especially endearing, Ardo. She'll remember you.
And he saw people come and go.
Yeah, he saw people from various cultures, races, languages he'd never heard. The door would open sometimes, light would come in, sometimes it was a sweltering heat. And these strange people would come in and make bargains and trade off items. Sometimes her servant, the hobgoblin samurai, would leave, and sometimes he would come back, different areas.
And Ardo would just poop on the floor wherever.
Or in a cauldron, wherever the hell he felt like it, apparently.
Okay.
And then finally, after 2 years, he's handed a toddler and kicked out. Happy, he waited her out. Isn't that great? So, where do we begin? Who was, you were driving the lead cart, weren't you, Andara?
Yeah, I can't remember my frame of mind if I was going to go back and talk to my people or not, or... I guess we still have to deliver the baby to. Well, the baby is now a toddler.
Yeah.
To their the appropriate kingdom.
Right.
I guess is that what we were doing? Do we remember if that was sort of our intended goal or destination?
Our next game plan was wide open.
We still hadn't really determined that.
Right. We didn't.
Okay. Now, just sort of going back and over things, how would this kingdom know that this is an important baby to them? Do they have any way to determine
There's
that?
a prophecy. She has a birthmark.
She's got a specific birthmark. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, you show up to this friend, we're like, we have the golden child. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
That's how things work.
Yeah, it's like, they're like, oh, thank goodness you're here.
Hold on, but let's just give DNA testing.
Yeah.
Bring it to the wizard down the road.
Well, we did have a baby, but this is a toddler. How do we know this is the same one? It's
a
too
self-correcting prophecy. Like, the first trial will kill it if it's not the right one.
old. Yeah. Okay. Birthmark. All right.
Which, if you ask me what that was right now, I can't remember, but I remember it was on her thigh. Some type of strange birthmark.
So, wait, just so we're clear, as far as Ardo knows, this is the child.
Right.
Okay.
Do you have any reason to not believe him?
It's not a matter of not believing him, it's a matter of not believing her. She's like, yeah, here you go, here's the kid, get out of here. The kid, over the past 2 years, could be any other number of babies that she acquired. I'm just saying. Now that we know there was a birthmark that we should be looking for, maybe someone should check to make sure it's the correct kid.
Does Andara express those doubts on the
No,
kid?
I'm just sort of wrapping this right now out of the context here, but okay. So we're heading towards the town with the alleged baby that we believe is the baby.
Yeah, so you're going to be heading back
What
down.
town were we heading to? Silvery Moon?
If I remember correctly, the plan y'all had was to bypass Moondale completely.
Yeah.
Skirt the edge of the town and head past the ruins of Quavar on Ruma.
For what reason were we bypassing that town?
The city's on lockdown.
It is a
Oh,
city base.
okay.
If we get caught up in it again, we're gonna have more delays.
Oh, okay? Yeah, that's okay. Right.
Because every time we go there, we have a bad time.
We had to sneak out with the bear. It's a bear. Panic.
You're ambushed by a pack of wild chihuahuas.
Yeah,
You kick them out of the way and continue.
The cart is unimpeded.
After barking furiously, they leave on their own accord.
We could just make them into pies.
There we go.
wandering off.
I heard Chihuahua pie's a delicacy.
Oh my gosh.
Once I was the king of Spain, now I eat chihuahua pie.
Oh, fuck. We're gonna get copyright claimed. No singing.
Alright.
Well, technically, I don't think the chihuahua pie is a copyright thing, but if you guys are humming it, yeah, maybe.
Moving forward.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Who's leading this?
It was
parody?
fair use parody of a parody.
So, I'm looking back to see what the Dragon Man is doing, since he was probably incinerating things while I just continue on in the cart.
And eating the countryside.
Yeah, pretty much. And I sort of just mutter to myself, what is that dragon doing?
Isn't he just riding his cart?
Yeah, but hadn't he just incinerated corpses and smeared the road with them and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. He tried to shatter their bones with shatter. There was a whole debate about this ability.
The great
Okay.
bone debate.
So you
Yeah.
asked that, what was that dragon doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I just sort of
Someone just-
muttered to myself, what is that dragon doing?
Looks at you quizzically, I guess.
I don't know what he was doing. Looks like he was trying to destroy the bones.
Andara just sort of shakes her head. Why are there so many strange creatures in these parts?
Says the Dark Elf.
Yeah, well, I mean,
was just gonna say something.
Yeah, but dark elves have been common for a while. Strange samurais appear from unknown regions and now dragon people. It's getting weirder and weirder by the minute. Come on.
Well, maybe if we look at the common denominator, perhaps it's us that attracts them.
You might have a point there.
Don't break the veil.
You make sure you keep your crumbs out of the cart with whatever you're eating back there.
Wawa.
Is that coming through? Sorry. No, seriously.
Well, I mean, just a little.
Okay. Sorry, YouTube.
That's not bad.
The dwarf is gnawing on some wood.
Yeah. You got a squirrel on a stick.
Yeah.
I just imagine, like, as Vox is incinerating a corpse, he's torching the squirrel and the stick in the fire.
Oh my goodness.
Are we moving or are we still?
Yeah, no, the cart's going.
Yeah.
There's the couple bumps here and there.
It's
Sprinkles.
been rolling.
Do I have Sprinkles and Donkey?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, okay, so Sprinkles and Donkey are just doing their thing.
You had your heartfelt reunion with Sprinkles. Hasn't really been anything since then, but
Right.
Only cost a sword. Don't.
yeah. Low.
Oh, yeah, right. Those poor people. Okay.
What people?
Yeah.
Purple people eater.
Yeah, so I'm probably still a little bit upset about that whole prospect. So she.
You seem fine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's still thinking about it, right?
Oh, well, I guess. Yeah.
She's not just gonna be like, oh well, I guess that's that. I got my horse back. Forget those other chumps.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh well,
Yeah.
moving on.
Oh, well. Instead
Yeah.
of quest, abandoned quest or quest
Yep.
complete.
Can't win them all.
Reward. According to the yellow question or exclamation point, I go this way.
Oh dear.
That quest is way below our level. It's not worth doing.
Yeah, abandoned.
That's a class quest. We don't need to do that.
I'll do it later.
As you
Oh, what's the time of day? Yeah. As you're rolling your dice here.
how can we get him to stop doing that? What time is it? Well, it's still afternoon. You know, you got a few hours of daylight left.
Okay, I just wanted to establish that before we were like, you're like, oh yeah, since you're traveling on through the night for 3 hours, like, okay, wait, yeah, what time of day is it here?
No. I'm pretty sure. Is that right, Rickane? You were keeping track of time pretty good. We were in the afternoon, weren't we?
It's closer to supper.
Close to the supper.
Okay, I'll probably be looking around for places to camp.
Chihuahua.
If anyone, and I'll sort of voice up. If anyone feels there's a good place for us to set up shop for the evening, feel free to let me know, and I'll steer in that direction.
Okay. Anyone start kind of looking around?
Yeah, I look around, but I don't really know what I'm looking for. There.
Alright.
There. There.
Dermot, as y'all are riding and you're looking around, you notice an abnormally large beehive in one of the trees.
Honey.
Sragg, for abnormally large for our scale purposes, what are we talking scale-wise here?
The
If
it wasn't for all the leaves on the tree, it might be taking up the whole half of that tree.
Do I see, like... Okay, when you say abnormally large, as in, like, a really big beehive that has little bees in it, or a really big beehive that has potentially large bees in it?
This is important information. The size of a
These-
mountain abnormally large?
For the size of the hive and the bees that the few bees that you do see in the area, they're about this big. They're pretty big bees.
So, ginormous.
Ginormous, yes, big bees.
I hate bees.
It's bees, BB.
What do I know about these bees?
You've never seen them before, not in this area.
I didn't have the camera. What's the scale of these bees? Okay, yeah, they're bees.
They're capital B's, exclamation point
They're
bees.
uppercase bees, okay. Font size 28.
Bees? I
Okay.
say that. Bees! My eyes are fixated on them.
What's the proximity of this abnormally large beehive to the road?
It's off the road about 45 feet away, but he just caught the side of it. Looking that direction, you notice there's a slumped over mountain lion laying on the ground.
Okay, so did he point this out to us, just so we're clear or not? Did he actually?
Yeah,
I
I said bees and
bees.
pointed.
Did we all spot it when he said that?
I'm more concerned about the slumped over mountain lion.
With
Yeah,
like
you all see it.
the swollen like eyes because it's been stung to death.
I'll stop
Yeah.
the cart at that point. Not a sudden jerk, but a kind of a slow whoa. Just so we're clear.
And you see the slightly swelled mountain lion laying paws kind of up.
That is alarming.
Are
Does
we-
anyone know anything of bees?
Are we closer to the beehive?
Pull out my can of Raid. No.
Like if we were to keep going, would we just pass by it, or do we have to get even? Do we get even closer as we pass by it?
Sragg.
You would
Sorry,
get
go ahead.
Another. It would get with it from the angle it's at. You would get another 10 feet closer, but you would pretty much pass it by.
Do the
Okay.
bees seem to have taken notice of us?
Not yet. No.
Being that I frequented the town over the past couple years, what is my knowledge of the Church of Colby and the bees?
Oh yeah, the Church of Colby does know a lot about bees. You've seen many of the bees indigenous to the area, and these aren't them.
Okay,
What is
so that's all. All right.
What is my bear doing?
You looking for honey?
lumbering along behind the cart.
What is his reaction to these?
Alarm, but not running.
Okay,
So something's wrong.
we should stay here, guys. We need to get going.
So, is it safe for us to get around? The hive, does anyone know anything about these? These bees are abnormally large, from what I've seen in the town.
They apparently have a desire to eat, or
Judging from that mountain lion.
yeah, they seem to be interested in things more than just flowers.
Sragg, what was the proximity of that to the road?
At the closest point on the road, you would get within 30 feet of it.
Where's the mountain lion situated in proximity to the road?
The mountain line's about 10 foot off the road.
Okay. Do you? I sort of asked the others. Do you think it would be safe if we go by based on where the mountain lion's situated, or should we detour further around in the forest?
Now, I'm going to point something out to Dermot because you would be thinking about this when she pops that says that hive had to be there the first time you came by. The size of it, they couldn't have built that overnight.
Wait, we're on the same road because we haven't reached Moondale yet?
Right, no, you haven't gone past it yet. You're still on the same road. You came by this on the way up.
Are the trees and the roads bigger than they should be?
That seems to be the only thing right now that's out of proportion. Chill.
Sragg, I have another question for you. If we can reflect back just for a brief moment,
Yeah.
just so for my own personal understanding. And was there any point where we were all in the witch's hut together at the same time?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Time scale wise.
Yeah.
Is
No.
what okay.
So I have that thought, and I say to the party, like, this wasn't here on the way we got, or on our way here, and there's no way they could have built it. Although my knowledge of giant bees apparently is lack, I guess I know that much.
Yeah, I don't know much of giant bees either.
Well, you didn't see it when you came. It's possible
Right.
you just
Didn't notice
spaced
the
that.
bee.
The
That's
giant, massive beehive.
That smells of honey.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have missed it.
Yeah, right.
Do you suspect it's magical? I ask. Is there any way we can determine that it's magical? I don't have any way to do so. What about you, Master Cal?
Yeah, I look at Cal.
What do you know of giant bees? You spin some interesting tales.
Giant bees? really heard about giant bees.
You've got no songs of giant bees? That's unfortunate.
We have a couple of ballads of the dangers of bees told around your family campfire.
Beware, beware.
It let bees be, and
Yeah.
I'll let you be
Oh, yeah,
you.
I
and me
remember
be
that
me
song.
be.
it's always like a fisherman's
That's a
tale where
classic.
the bee starts out this big, it's huge. The bee starts out this big, it's huge. The bee starts out this big, it's huge, and so on and so forth. That's 8 feet long. Hard to verify that. Yeah, I could try. How far are we from it?
Since you stopped, you're 45 feet from it right now.
So I could do a detect magic and
Yeah.
put it that way and see if I see anything.
Uh-huh.
What if that pisses them off, though?
I could try it.
Do you actually voice that opinion?
Yeah, I said that loud.
Okay.
Ask me.
Do you suspect that might be the case? Well,
Oh.
Andara gets her shield ready.
Better start.
Just a detection spell. If anything, it should just make them cautious, not
I-
aggressive.
I've
Get your
frequented these
crossbow out.
roads. I've gone up and down these roads quite a few times, and I've never seen anything like this. Right, Sragg?
Right.
Okay.
You cast your detection then?
So, do you guys want me to try this?
Well,
Go for it.
let's do it, I suppose.
Okay, here goes. And I cast
And
detect
one,
magic.
and two.
I look at the party first, just to make sure that it's working, and
She
then
nods.
It's working.
and then look towards the hive.
You look towards the hive. You notice that the bees on the outside and that the hive itself do not seem to be magical, but there is some power radiating within the hive.
Well, that's strange. There seems to be some type of power inside the hive.
I look back to see where Ardo is after he says that.
What do you mean? Look at me. Don't look at me.
Does it look like a magical object of some sort? Something magical? Like, can I see spells that way? No, right? Shrek? He's not moving.
The Shragg
Yeah,
you're
I
looking
think-
for is not available. Please hang
He's
up and
currently
transfer
thinking.
again.
He's thinking. He's very focused.
You guys know about that, right? So, like, I'm pretty sure you can't see spells.
His inner monologue is in an epic debate right now. I don't know. Maybe not.
Need some time to think about it.
Yeah. What do the midi-chlorians tell me about the shape of the object?
I'm pretty sure, like, you can't see spells.
Yeah.
Can you see like the shape of the aura? It's a giant honeycomb.
Well, I can see the shape of a magical artifact aura.
It's a Vorpal sword.
But you wouldn't be able to see.
Yes, we're still live, Scott.
Yeah, my only immediate why I looked at Ardo is because like, hey, a magical thing, and Ardo's like, whoa,
Well, it's not a thing though. Like
something expensive.
I haven't seen anything. I'm not gonna go sticking my hand in there for nothing.
That doesn't matter. Someone's like, hey, a really high value thing potentially that's magical. You might be like, oh, she
Well, I
doesn't
mean,
know.
if I actually saw something like a huge stone, I might go for it. But
I didn't directly imply anything. I just sort of
No.
looked at you like,
We should spend the next 5 years sitting here and slowly gaining a tolerance to the bee stings.
each taking turns.
Oh.
Wait,
Okay, you guys go and get stung, and I'll heal you.
You guys go first.
it's
Yeah.
too bad. It's too bad skill upping doesn't work like in like Skyrim or something like that. I just really practice my ranged
Sneak back and forth.
targeting.
Yeah.
You are a grandmaster at the crossbow.
Rapid
of-
fire crossbow.
Rapid fire crossbow.
Auto loading rapid fire. Just You have the Gatling gun of crossbows.
Ardo has learned a new ability, barrage.
Well, apparently, I can't remember who I was talking to, but like, there's a way for a regular bow that, like, you know, when you're holding a bow, you put the arrow on the inside. Apparently, in like the medieval times, they did it from the other side because you could knock a bunch of arrows in your hand on the other side and just rapidly fire them one after the other.
If he's using barrage, it's okay because he's going to kill all the bees, except he's going to pull the cave troll, the bear, every other thing in the forest for like a 20-mile radius is going to come charging after us.
Always a balance.
That's funny.
They didn't really use quivers in the army in the medieval times.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah,
they're
there was a
stuck
way
in the
that you could
ground.
have like an extra 3 or 4 in your fingers and just be like chunk, chunk, chunk,
Yeah.
chunk, without having to
But
go
they
back.
they stuck them in the ground too, like they're
Yeah.
like.
While we're waiting for Sragg's internet to respond.
That was an epically amazing first week back.
So yeah.